Hello there and welcome once again to another edition of Talk Time here on UBC TV. My name is Edward Rukidi Kijanangoma, and tonight we are going to look at one of the top not so many people have actually heard about them, and that is bamboo planting in Uganda. Now, the government of Uganda, if I may tell you some or give you some of the statistics, it targets to plant about 375,000 hectares of bamboo, and that is part of strategies to increase forest cover, and that is countrywide, not just in particular places, but that is countrywide. And this is a 10-year project, and it is it's supposed to kickstart actually during the financial year 2019-2020, and it will be at a tune of about 297 billion Ugandan shillings. Now, of course, bamboo plantation and bamboo planting is under the Ministry of Water and Environment, because one of the reasons why the government is coming up with this strategy is because it realized that forest cover had been depleted, and people were cutting trees and not planting more trees. And even those that managed to plant some other trees, they were not planting the right trees because they ended up depleting the environment. And that's why they have come up with this project to plant bamboos in different parts of the country. And of course, it goes without saying that there are benefits that accrue, from bamboo plantation, bamboo trees, to one, the government, but also to individual farmers in the country. Now, to explain more, about bamboo, what is it all about? How can you and I benefit from bamboo plantation? That is, if you managed to get into it. I'm joined by none other than Mr. Kelvin Kaloki. Now, Mr. Kelvin Kaloki is the Managing Director of Africa Plantation Capital, and these are people who have actually taken bamboo planting to a different level of altogether. And there's a lot that Ugandans can actually learn from what they have done, from the experience and expertise in as far as this is concerned. Kelvin, welcome to Talk Time. Welcome, and of course I've had a trip, and I hope you're not jet lagged in any way.
Kind of, but I'm okay.
Okay, the coffee has helped out. Yes. Okay, thank you so much. Now, Calvin, of course, from what I've just said, our government has an ambitious plan of having a lot of acreage, more than 300 acres. 300,000 acres of land under bamboo plantation. They have realized that it is very important for not only the government but also, individual farmers in the country. Tell us, first give us your journey as, Africa Plantation Capital. Why did you even start thinking about bamboo, trees?
Edward, Africa Plantation Capital is a member of the APC Group. APC Group is currently a world leader in agroforestry and value chain addition. The story of bamboo is partly like a miracle to us as well. Bamboo, we call it a miracle plant. So the journey as well has been like a miracle to us. In our Asian operations, we are focused largely on agarwood. Agarwood is in the species of sandalwood, but a more superior brand. When you're wearing this expensive fragrance, Fahrenheit, Tom Ford, Yves Orient, you'll find some contain wood. Wood is distilled from agarwood. Okay. Is one of the main products that we are doing in operations in Asia. Now, to foster its growth, we intercrop with other crops. And one of the crops happens to be bamboo. We do it with maize as well. We do it with bananas as well. And when you have 2, 3, 4, 5 plantations, 100 acres each, the intercrop is not a product in itself. Largely, you will give it to farmers. Neighbors use it the way they want. But when you get to a point where you have 100 plantations, 300 plantations, 400 plantations, then you find that the intercrop becomes a product itself. And that's how bamboo started. That's how we went into the bamboo industry.
And here we are in Uganda, actually, growing up.
Yes.
I used to see, bamboo being grown wildly. It's not like it was an organized kind of thing.
Correct.
But years later, here we are, and the government is actually saying bamboo plantations. We must have these, these trees in our country. And also, as I said earlier on, looking at, the environmental bit of it.
Correct.
Because, for example, eucalyptus, this one, you plant it somewhere, within 3 years, the water is not there in the ground. But with bamboo, it's a different thing altogether. Now, you're telling me something that actually I did not know, and probably even the viewer did not know at all, and that is the different things that you can do with bamboo. Tell us a little bit about this.
Let me correct you first. Bamboo is not a tree. It's a grass.
It is a grass.
It is a grass. And
another thing we are learning today.
And bamboo has been a grass that has been growing in East Africa since time memorial. Around East Africa, everywhere you go, you'll find bamboo, and it does very well. The climatic condition within our countries favor bamboo, most of the species. And you'll find when you're driving around Kampala, around Uganda, go to Nairobi, around Kenya, is the same thing. Bamboo has been with us. The only difference, we've never realized the commercial value of bamboo and what we can do with it. Now, like I was explaining where we came from, when you have all this biomass from bamboo, you want to find out what you can do with it commercially, because you have reached a point where you are producing thousands and thousands of tons of biomass, and that comes in research. And you find out that bamboo can actually have almost over 20 different end commercial products that you can process, from fiber, flooring, construction. If you go to the Asian countries, scaffolding is one of the biggest business. Here we use steel. They use bamboo. Same strength. Or even scientists say that bamboo is more stronger than steel. How they do it, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But according to research, they have found out that bamboo is more strong than steel, and that's why when you go to the Asian countries, they're using it a lot in construction. To food, bamboo shoots. One of the sweetest delicacies in Asian countries, and now being introduced in some of our countries, some of our restaurants.
Yeah, actually, you got some area where they eat
Correct. And then you have luggages, suitcases, bamboo bikes, which now is big business in European countries. Everybody's trying to go green. So you can use bamboo for different end commercial products. It's only that you have to come up with a business plan that works. And bamboo will work a miracle for you. We call it a miracle plant.
It a miracle
for a reason, yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kelvin. Okay, let's look at, I understand, you have plantations.
Correct.
In Kenya, but also you're venturing into Uganda. And there is also a plan, actually it is in place, that Ugandans, you're encouraging Ugandans actually to tap into that business in Kenya.
Yes.
How viable is it? Because I'm looking at a Ugandan who probably wants to get into this business, but the capital is not there, to start. Like, for example, buying a quarter an acre or half an acre or even an acre or more than that. How are you helping these people to really appreciate what you're doing?
We have plantations in about 20 countries at the moment, around the world. And part of the APC group journey was to come to countries like East Africa, countries like Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, as we expand our operations within the continent. The reason we did not introduce a crop like agarwood, because you have to go through research. You have to plant it, grow it, manage it, and find out whether it can work commercially. But instead of doing that, we have a crop that grows here naturally. We don't need to introduce it. It's here. All we need to do is bring in the new technology, management, value addition, and the market. Now, introducing farmers, or rather introducing bamboo plantations in Uganda, in Kenya, you have to start somewhere as a company. Our entry to the East African region was in Kenya, and that's why you find today we have existing plantations in Kenya. We are growing our plantations in Kenya, and we came to Uganda as well because we find that we have a lot of similarities between Kenya and Uganda, from climatic conditions, soil, water, quality labor. All this is available. So the plan is there for us to expand within the region. We started with Kenya. We are introducing Ugandans to the Kenyan plantations. They can go there. We've taken a lot of Ugandans right now to our plantations. They have gone there. They have seen what we are doing. And you find that it's not a difficult thing to do. Now, we talk about cost, and we talk about...
That is the biggest question.
Correct. And that's the biggest question from everybody. How do I make money out of this thing? If you look at the current system of governance within the region, we have Kenya, Uhuru's government with the Big Four agenda. Part of it is to have 10% forest cover. You just mentioned that Uganda government has a specific acreage.
Actually, it's between 20 and 38. 73 actually is supposed to be on private land, but government, the average should be between 20 and 30.
Correct. We are moving towards that for two reasons. One, we have to combat climate change. We have to restore our environment the way it used to before we went crazy and started to destroy everything. And then number two, we have realized that bamboo is a resource as well. We can create employment. That's what East Africans are looking for. We can create investment. That's what everybody's looking for. You can make some sustainable income out of bamboo. And that is what majority of families are looking for. We've had a lot of craziness in investment within our regions. People want to put in money somewhere, and tomorrow they wake up multimillionaires and basking in the sun and enjoying returns. It doesn't work out that way. It doesn't work out that way. There are a lot of things that you have to put in place for you to get to that level. One, like I mentioned before, bamboo has different commercial products. You have to find out a business plan for what you want to do, because that is what determines your capital input. Okay? But the returns will not be high. The more you invest, the more returns you get. The lesser you invest, the lesser the returns. Okay? You'll find an acre of bamboo is giving you about 15 to 20 tons of biomass. And today the price of wood is ranging between, I don't know how to convert this in Uganda shillings, but in Kenya you find it's about 4, 5 or 6 shillings. That's the price of wood today. Okay? Most companies use eucalyptus, blue gum, coffee husks to burn in their boilers. But the governments are coming in and saying, no, we cannot continue cutting down our trees. We cannot continue destroying our environment. We need to find more sustainable sources of renewable energy. And there comes in bamboo. Because with bamboo, you don't need to cut the whole plantation. You do what we call selective harvesting. Okay. Bamboo grows in shoots. So every year you have a number of shoots that are coming out. And you do tagging. You tag them. So you know at year 5, these are the shoots that are 5 years old. These are 4-year-old. These are 3-year-old. These are 2-year-old. These are 1-year-old. And all you need to harvest is the ones that are mature. Therefore, the rest of the plantation remains green. And we have forest cover forever. You have forest cover. You are combating climate change. You're using your plantation as a resource. You're also making some money out of them. Now, that is one of the many examples. APC does a different kind of business plan altogether. We are focused in value addition from soil to fiber. The investment to that is a bit high because you have to put a lot of systems, you have to put a lot of infrastructure. You also have to factor in the production or the processing part, which also requires a lot of money to set up all these processing lines, and also the market as well, because unfortunately within our region we can't talk about a huge market that can be competitive. We have to focus on the global market where we are going to get competitive prices, and there you'll have a bit of more returns than doing it the other way. So it all depends on the commercial business or the business plan that you have for your plantation.
Thank you, Kelvin. And very, very important to note here that, of course, bamboo, I've been corrected, actually, they are not trees. Yeah. It's grass. Can you believe that this grass that is very, very important today, and everybody wants to get growing, to start growing this grass. So bamboo is very, very important when it even comes to the economic bit of it. And that is what most companies and also individuals are looking at. And of course, this to those of you who are joining us, this is Talk Time here on UBC TV, and we're looking at bamboo, the importance of bamboo in economic development, but also in alleviating poverty, especially at household level. And with me is Kelvin Kaloki, who is the managing director of Africa Plantation Capital. You've talked about something very, very interesting, especially looking at the capital, because many people want to get into to venture into this, but they cannot get that kind of capital. Tell us, I understand if, for example, I bought quarter an acre of a bamboo plantation, that is all I have to do, because the rest, like irrigation or whatever, it is taken care of. Now, when someone hears that they have bought this plantation, maybe an acre or more than that, and then these things are going to be done for them, they fear. They say, how much money am I going to inject in this? Because you apply modern technology and so many other things. So is there a way you can break it down for us, so that at least a Ugandan who is interested in getting into this business can actually appreciate and say, okay, I can buy, maybe depending on what I have, I can buy half an acre, quarter an acre, and so on.
If I do that with the time frame that we have, we are going to take the whole day.
It's something small.
Yes. So we are talking about a specific thing here. We are talking about. I believe you're asking about our plantations and our operations and how people can
Yes.
can be able to be partners with us. We have a different way of approach. Like I said, we are using bamboo, or our plantations are part of green investment projects that we are doing. That's one of the main things that we do as a company. We offer people an opportunity to invest in the green market, to invest in value addition, to invest in agriculture. These are things that have been, this is one of the industry that has been supporting economies with the African region. Sadly enough, most of our government moved away to other industries, but now I think we are moving back there. So for us as a company, we do offer interested people to join our plantations as an investment. And I'm trying to do calculation in my mind.
Yes.
For
example, I had a quarter acre, and I don't know how many trees, sorry, how many shoots.
Yes.
Bamboo shoots would be.
When shoots are the ones that are coming
Okay.
out. So you plant seedlings.
Okay.
Yes. So in a quarter we are doing 35 seedlings because we are doing a distance of 5 by 5 meters. To give it enough, correct. You'll be surprised, I'm sure a majority of the viewers, those who have seen bamboo clumps, it can go even up to a radius of 5 meters in diameter. And all those are shoots that are coming out. And that's why we are talking about an average of production in terms of tonnage, bamboo biomass. And once you come in, we will find that our plantations, we buy the lands, we own the land, we don't lease. We own on a freehold basis. That means these lands belong to us forever. And once you come in, if let's say a Ugandan is buying in Kenya, we offer leases, because unfortunately in Kenya a foreigner cannot buy land on a freehold basis. You can own it, but on a leasehold for 99 years. That's what is allowed in our Land Act at the moment. And then we move in. We do everything that is required. We do periodic water and soil analysis. We have the NEMA reports, the National Environment Management Authorities. We have boreholes that are certified by WARMA, the government parastatal that certifies water management. We have consultants that range from agronomists that are monitoring the land, that are preparing the land, all the way to your plantation being ready, mature for harvesting. We put all the infrastructure, irrigation plants are there. We make the roads, we provide electricity, and all this costs money. All right? So we have a specific figure that we do charge for someone to come in. We do a complete presentation in our offices. Once you come there, you'll find all the cost for whatever we are charging, and management as well, because that's where the resource goes in. We have professional agronomists, we have plantation managers, qualified with experience. I mean, in one plantation we have combined about 50 to 60 years of experience of the professional staff that is there. All this costs money. These guys are going to watch over your plantation all the way until
you just sit and relax, you wait for the money to, you start plucking.
Correct.
Okay,
And
okay.
anytime you can go there and see what they are doing in your plantation. Anytime you want.
Okay, Kelvin.
Yes.
Probably someone watching,
Mhm.
they're asking themselves,
Mhm.
okay, I have my piece of land here.
Mhm.
Can I grow bamboo? Can I grow it here?
Yes,
Do
you can.
think it can be grown anywhere?
Bamboo grows everywhere. I mean, the only determining factor is the kind of soils you have, the kind of climate condition you have within your area, and that guides the species that you can grow. I mean, Kilifi is considered as an arid area, semi-arid area, and we are growing successfully. Uganda, the way the climate is, I mean, you can grow it even in the house.
We are blessed.
You're blessed.
But you
You're
also have,
blessed.
the last time I was here, I was
Mhm.
told that
Mhm.
you have plants, you're testing the soil in
Mhm.
certain regions of the country.
Yes, that is why, as a commercial entity, we have all these plans, all these consultancies in place to make sure that what we are doing is something that follows a specific procedure. We are not just telling people stories. We have the results being done periodically to monitor the soils that we are planting, to monitor the water. All this is done for a reason, because we want to improve the quality and the quantity that we are producing. And that is why before we buy any land, we have to carry out all these tests. We have to carry out soil analysis. We have to do feasibility studies. We have to conduct NEMA audits. All these things assist us in acquiring the good lands that we can grow bamboo, that will give us quality and quantity. At the end of the day, Edward, if I told you that I'm going to give you 15 tons, I better give you 15 tons.
Exactly.
Correct.
Otherwise, it will be war. Okay, let me ask you as a viewer. Probably, I have this piece of land. Can I have it as an outgrow? Can I have bamboo, plant bamboo as an outgrow? It's specifically, I must have it on your land. I must, buy from your land.
At the moment, we have not rolled out our outgrower program. And the reason for that is for you to go out and tell people to do a specific thing, you must put in place all the stages of the business up to the market level. Because if I'm discussing a business proposal with you, I also need to have the figures in mind. So in Kenya, we are in a bit advanced stage of starting the outgrower program, and this is determined by the market forces. You see, for fiber, we already have a complete business chain from soil to the market. For outgrower, in Nairobi we have sort of signed a couple of MOUs with different companies, which are guiding us on the areas that we need to come up with a program. Management, logistics, the prices, all these things determine the outgrower program. So Nairobi, we are a bit in advanced stage, and that will be rolling out soon. Part of the reasons we came to Uganda is that, because Uganda, there is market still. We have companies, we have industries in Uganda that eventually we require to use sustainable energy, to use renewable energy. And that's where we are moving towards. But at the moment, we have not yet gotten to that stage.
Yeah. Kelvin, you talked about something very, very pertinent, and I've been seeing this because you talked of Asian countries, specifically China.
Yes.
I've seen houses, story buildings actually, made out of bamboo or made of bamboo. And it brought to my mind a question: what kind of, what type of bamboo are you looking at? Do you also have that kind of bamboo that is that strong that probably we could use to construct maybe houses? Not storied ones, of course, because China is a little bit ahead, but at least to construct some houses. Or you are looking at a specific type of bamboo?
Majority of the species, Edward, can be used in majority of the commercial products. The determining factor is the procedure of producing these raw materials that you're using. All right. We actually tested producing bamboo mat boards for construction industry in Nairobi. We signed an MOU with Kenya Forest and Research Institute in Kenya, and we started that program to see commercially how the production can be, the machinery is required and all that. But yes, today we have a lot of companies that are using bamboo to make houses. We have an American company that specifically uses bamboo to manufacture prefabs. You can buy the whole house, carry it, and just assemble it. All right? Like I mentioned, in the Asian countries, bamboo is used a lot in construction industry. We have bamboo tiles. Today they are all over. I mean, you can just Google and you buy them from the Asian countries, and you use them. They are durable, long-lasting. They are carbon sink as well. So yes, bamboo is there in the construction industry. It's being used, but within our region, we have not yet gotten to that point of, using bamboo in that level of technology. But I think we are moving there. We've had a lot of inquiries in our Nairobi office. We have had a lot of discussions with the developers who are looking at ways of using bamboo. We use bamboo largely in interior decor. All right? In all our offices, we have used bamboo as interior decor. Most of the hotels are using bamboo to do interior decor. You'll be surprised that if you travel, you'll find most of the towels, most of the bed sheets you're using in hotels, they're made out of bamboo.
They must be very expensive.
Depends again on the producing company, the house that is producing the end product. Let me give you an example. If Boss will use bamboo to make their suits will be expensive. If a Chinese company or a Korean company or a Turkish company will produce T-shirts for the mass market, they'll be affordable. So the raw material is the same. Mm-hmm. The raw material, I mean, bamboo fiber is competing with cotton fiber. And the reason for that is because cotton is for mass market. Bamboo is coming in to fill that void that cotton is leaving. I'm sure majority of the viewers know. Today, the production of cotton has gone down tremendously. Yes. Kenya, we used to be one of the biggest producers of cotton. Not anymore. Does that mean that the need for fiber has gone down? No, it's actually the opposite. It is increasing. So where do you come in and fill that gap? Bamboo. The cost of producing bamboo fiber per acre is about 20, 30 times cheaper. And the quantity you're getting is about 10 times more.
Kelvin, yes. I'm looking at how this initiative is actually helping in as far as creating employment is concerned, mm-hmm. and also since you started, of course, mm-hmm. One of the components about environmental protection. Mm-hmm. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, I'd like you to tell the viewer, about how you've done so far, as far as creating employment is concerned, and also curbing the environmental degradation. This is Talk Time. We'll take a short break, but we'll be back shortly. Stay with us.
I know you're high and you wanna get down tonight. You sippy Henny in the club and it feels so right.
Murakuranye kuita mutalenti y'okuzina eno y'okakubetesi z'okuzina amazina mu Uganda nga baliwo ne Hustlers Dreams Promotions Uganda ne Star TV Ubuntu oyinza okuba omusanyufu nga balate bali bannayuganda bali mu Part of Africa okera buli muzadde ayagala omwana we agende maaso era ng'okulakulana kw'omwana lisenyu ly'omuzadde ndi muzadde nawe oli muzadde ate omulala ojja kuba omuzadde jangu onyumirwa amazina okuva mu region zonna mu Uganda lekera okuleetera abavubuka balina talenti okuzina obwavu mujja benyumirizaamu nga balina kye balinawo mu dance competitions gamba mukwano gagambe mukwano gwe tutunulidde bavubuka Ubuntu
Let's make love tonight. Wake up. That's to do it right. I feel you. Girl, tonight.
Welcome back from that short break, and this is Talk Time here on UBC TV. My name is Edward Rukidi Kijanangoma, and this time around we're looking at bamboo, the importance of bamboo in so many areas, economic development, but also in as far as curbing environmental degradation is concerned, and also, creating jobs, especially for the youth. With me, I'm with Kelvin Kaloki, who is the Managing Director of Africa Plantation Capital, and he's here to teach us actually, about the importance of bamboo and how we can reap big from this miracle plant. Yes, Kelvin, before the break, we're looking at, I had actually, posed a question to you. How are you helping in as far as, youth unemployment is concerned? Because in Uganda, we're faced with that problem, and more than 60% of our population is made up of the youth, and there are no, clear-cut jobs around. So how can we tap into your expertise and your business to ensure that we can also curb down on youth unemployment first, but also when after that you can probably tell us about how your company is impacting in as far as environmental degradation is concerned.
Bamboo has been an employer from day one. The reason we are here is because of bamboo. The office in Uganda has 99% Ugandans. And if it wasn't for bamboo, we will not be here. All right? In Kenya, at the moment, depending on the works in the plantations, we fluctuate between 200 to about 350 direct employment. Direct, not indirect. That's direct. We are talking about creating 5,000 acres of bamboo plantation. I'm sure that is going to take us to close to about 2,000, 3,000 people. We expect, same when we start the Outgrower program, we'll have direct and indirect people benefiting out of bamboo. And wherever we are going to do this program will be the same. In Uganda as well. If we start that program in Uganda, we are going to have direct people employed by the bamboo industry, and indirect people that are benefiting out of the bamboo industry. And I think, and we believe as a company, our model is to grow. As we grow, our combination is from unskilled to skilled labor, because in the plantations we have hundreds of people that are not skilled. And these are the kind of people the government is trying to figure out what to do with these people. Unemployment is an issue within our countries. In Kenya, I think right now we are almost 46% unemployment rate. Crime has gone up. Why? Because a lot of youth have education, but they have nothing to do. And we also must move from this ideology of white-collar employment. We must realize that we have resources as communities that we can use to better our livelihoods, and not necessarily to sit in an AC conditioned office. All right, we have good soils, we have good climate that we can use and produce with it. If you look at the countries that have managed to grow their economies, they are growing out of producing with their soils, manufacturing and exporting. We have to move towards that direction. That's the only way that we are going to improve our economic conditions. That's the only way we are going to increase our employment percentages. That's the only way we are going to assist all these numbers of people that we are talking about unemployment. On climate, Edward, I mean, when you create a plantation, when you plant trees, they have a direct impact to combating climate change. And that is why governments both in Kenya, Uganda, we are talking about increasing our forest cover. The advantage we have with bamboo is because unlike trees like eucalyptus, when you plant eucalyptus, it has advanced effects to the soil. It has advanced effects, negative effects to the water surrounding that area, because it's deep-rooted. So it tends to draw in drains, correct. Bamboo lifts the water table, because bamboo is not deep-rooted. It's about 2 feet. Just that. When it's dry, bamboo has the ability of collecting water and storing it within its stems. When it's dry, it releases the water to the surrounding soil. So you'll always find that within that area, it's kind of cold, it's kind of wet because of that. Bamboo is one of the best carbon sinks. It is one of the best oxygen releasing crops that we have. It actually releases about 28% more oxygen than majority of other trees. That's as a direct benefit to our environment. If today you go to Kilifi in the coastal region of Kenya, where we have done these plantations, a couple of years ago you could see the way the area was dry, there was nothing growing, and all of a sudden about 500, 600 acres is green because of the same thing, because of bamboo plantation. If we can do that to 5,000, 10,000 hectares, then that changes everything, changes the whole ecosystem. And that is why that's where we are moving towards. So yes, it has both commercial, social, and environmental benefits. And that's our line. That's why we are very keen in developing the bamboo industry within the region.
Thank you, Kelvin. Of course, via it is very, very important that Kelvin is talking about this, because remember that this 10-year project that the country, that is Uganda, is embarking on, one of the key components is about environmental protection, and they have looked at bamboo and they realized all the benefits that Kelvin has told us about, and that is why they are actually encouraging. That's why government is encouraging people to actually grow, a bamboo, so that they can, apart from earning from it, they can also, play their role in as far as, curbing down on the environmental degradation is concerned. I'll go back to, I imagine I want to invest. I want to invest in, in bamboo, and maybe have my 25 million, and I want to buy, say,
$25 million?
No. Uganda shillings. Yes. And I want to buy, I'll begin with maybe quarter an acre. Now, you said it earlier on. In my mind, I'll say, okay, let me just get this. I know maybe after a year I'll start reaping. How long should I wait in order to start reaping from my money?
In your own farm, in your own plantation, you are the determining factor. But in APC plantations, the opportunity that we are giving interested people, you'll have to wait for 4 years, because our plantations are harvested at the end of the 4th year. So from the 5th year, you'll start making some money out of it. And that happens annually from the 5th year. We're giving 15-year management agreements to our partners that for the next 15 years we are going to manage their plantations, we are going to manage their farms, we are going to process the biomass that is coming out of their farms, and after 15 years you can choose to continue or discontinue. It's up to you.
Wow. It's not a long time for one to wait, really.
It's not, because Edward, investments is not a get rich quick games. Investment takes time, takes skills, takes investments, takes monitoring, and these things don't happen overnight. Take an example of a building. If you have a 10-story building, you invested, let's say, X amount of money. Ordinarily in real estate, it'll take you about 14 to 15 years for you to start earning out of that. That's a long time. Unless you're buying government bonds, the ones for 1 year, 3 years, and all that. In real investment, in agriculture, you have to wait. In agriculture, you have to take time. You have to, even when you plant maize, you cannot plant maize on Monday, and on Friday you expect to make money out of it. It doesn't work out that way. It has to go through its natural course, its natural procedure until it's ready for harvesting. You process, then you can make some money.
Yes, of course, the very good things that we're talking about here. However, of course, in any business, there are, people take risks, and there are success stories, but also there are some problems that you meet along the way. What would I, as a Ugandan intending to invest in bamboo, what should I expect? First of all, what are the risks? Are there risks, if any? Tell us, what should I expect?
That's a very, very important point, Edward, because unfortunately, our society has a mentality of, you'd feel comfortable if I told you I'm going to guarantee you this is 100% guaranteed, you can't go wrong, and that's where people are putting money. But majority of these projects that people will tell you they're 100% guaranteed, you cannot go wrong, 90% of them go wrong. Okay, because we try to tend to use PR marketing to sell ideas to the market. The fact of the matter is, every investment has a risk. There is no investment that is 100% guaranteed. Zero. None. Any person telling you that, they are withholding the truth. So what matters is the risk exposure. That's what you have to look at. We have different categories of investments. We have different categories of risk exposure. If today I walk into a casino with $1 million, there's a chance that correct, within 2 minutes, or there's a chance I might make some money out of it. So that's a very high risk kind of investment. If I'm buying stocks in the stock markets, I'm taking calculated risks, because I can watch how my stocks are performing. I can choose how much money I want to lose. I can choose how much money I want to make. I can choose the period of time that I want to stay in that position, and I can exit if and when I want to exit. All right? Then we come down to, let's say, something like real estate. Real estate is a passive kind of investment. The risks associated are not as high as stock markets, for example, because when you buy a piece of land, unless there is a global war, or you next to the ocean and the tsunami, I mean, or maybe you did not buy that land through the required regulations, the risk is very minimal for you to lose that land. And land you can never go back to a level zero.
You don't appreciate it.
No, that's a wrong mentality.
That it keeps on appreciating.
Land don't always keep on appreciating. There are circumstances that land will appreciate. There are circumstances that land will depreciate, and we've seen it.
What is on the line?
No, yes, that's a factor, and also land is affected by micro and macroeconomics. If, for example, you came to Kenya in 2005 and bought a piece of land in an area called Eldoret, and you are planning to sell it in 2 years, and you bought that piece of land at $1 million shillings, in 2007, you wouldn't fetch that money because of what was happening in the country. No. I mean, you'll give the land for free. Okay. Nobody would buy land in Eldoret that time. Go back to, let's talk about today, South Sudan, for example, Juba. Today, land in Juba is appreciating because they are coming from a crash of everything. Most markets, Dubai, London, we've seen all the cycles of market. They'll go up, they'll hit the roof, they'll go down, they'll go up again. That's the cycle of real estate. So land does not always appreciate. It's about timing, going at the right time, keeping that piece of land or staying in that position for the required right time, and exiting at the right time. That's how you make money. And then any investment works the same. Now, we go to a lower level like where we are as APC. We combine real estate with agriculture and value addition. So we even minimize the risks further. We have a piece of land, you own it, it's yours, nobody can take it away from you. Even if you don't plant the bamboo, keep it that land. If everything held constant, you still make some money out of it. You can never go to a level zero, like in stocks. Stocks, you can lose everything. Bank deposits, you can lose everything. Insurance, you can lose everything. But agriculture, real estate combined, you can never go to a level zero. There'll always be a soft landing. And then you have a business activity going on in your land that gives you an extra income, an annual income. As your land appreciates in value, because agricultural land will appreciate slowly by slowly, not like commercial pieces of land, and you have an additional income that is coming out of the business activity going on in your land. So eventually you will find that combining these two, you made some good money out of it. Risks, we are looking about things like things beyond our control. If there's a natural disaster that will happen, you don't need to ask me what happened. Edward, you will see it on the news. If there's war, APC is not a military camp. We can't help. I'll be running for my life. So there are things that are beyond our control, and those are the risks that are associated with this project. We have two kinds of risks. We have foreseeable risks and unforeseeable risks. Foreseeable risks, these are things that you can foresee. There might be fire. We have taken insurance for that. There might be drought. That's why we have irrigation, we have water pumps, we have boreholes to take care of that. There might be pests and diseases. That's why we have a whole management team monitoring that. So we have mitigated some of these risks. But unforeseeable risks, if they happen, we all lose. And that's the fact of life.
Thank you so much. And as we come to the end of this show, Kelvin, Ugandans are watching and they're interested in investing in bamboo, or even planting their own bamboo in their own on their own land. What advice would you give them?
First of all, do not go into crazy or craze about bamboo just because you're seeing it on newspapers and on TV. If you're doing this for investment purpose, first of all, you must have your own business plan. What do I want to do as an individual? How do I do it? What are the resources required? What's my time frame? And when my bamboo is mature, what am I going to do with it? Do I have that in place before I buy seedlings and plant? So you must create your own business plan. Know what you're going to do. Now, we have people that want to engage in farming. They don't have the time to do that. And that's why companies like us are offering an opportunity to do that without soiling your hands. You come in, we'll take you through our projects. You'll see how we work. You'll see how the project works. You'll see the cost of doing that. And if you're interested and favorable for you, you can do farming without getting involved directly. You can do it via companies like APC. Alternatively, if you want to do it yourself, you must have a business plan. Don't fall into this, when a new idea comes in, everybody rushes, people burn fingers, and they start to point at, no, I saw Edward on TV talking about bamboo, that's why I planted. No, that's the wrong move. If you want to do it, you want to get into the bamboo industry, individually you must have your own business plan. You must take care of the market. You cannot engage in a business that you don't have a market for.
Kelvin, we've talked about bamboo and so many things, the advantages of having bamboo, but also would like to know the different, types of products from bamboo that we have. You talked about, fabrics, and that is something that I didn't know about, because bamboo is something, it beats someone's understanding to get something very hard and thick like that, which even in Asia they use for construction of trees. But here you're telling us we can get a shirt out of that.
Again, remember the magical word? Bamboo is a miracle plant. So from construction to soft products like T-shirts. The textile industry, any product in the textile industry, you can make it out of bamboo. We have another issue which is very important that I think I left out on environment. Majority of the countries within the East African community have banned plastic. Yeah. Correct. Mm-hmm. Creating a huge industry for paper. And bamboo makes very good pulp for paper. Mm-hmm. So we can actually cover that industry by producing bamboo within our region. We don't need to import from China. We can use our resources within the region to cover that market that the governments have created. From textile to paper to construction to bamboo bikes to suitcases for luggages. I mean, the industries are unlimited. The products are unlimited. And you will see some of the products that as a company we make. The fiber you see is from our plantations in Asia. The polo shirts are from our plantations, made by our sister company Butex. They are very nice, soft. I'll give you one at the end. Wow. So you can have a feel. So when you're talking about it, you understand the kind of products you're talking about. So yes, you can make all these products out of bamboo.
Anything that you want to give the viewer, some pertinent, something that probably you left out and you want to tell the viewer, finally, in just 1 minute.
We were talking about industries and creation of employment, which is one of the biggest issues that our governments are facing. And I mentioned that since we started in the region back in 2015, you'll be surprised that Africa Plantation Capital started with about less than 5 people. Today, we are ranging between 200 to 300, 350, depending on what's happening in the plantations. Like Uganda, why are we here? We have already created employment even before we have the plantations. In office right now, we have about 44 Ugandans as part of our team. And therefore, I think as we go along, we must critically think about the bamboo industry, think about how to improve it. The governments must come in and assist in good policy. Like right now in Kenya, we have the National Bamboo Policy that we are fortunate to be involved in. We are part of the stakeholders that were drafted the National Bamboo Policy. And therefore, the governments need to come in and support this industry if it's going to be successful.
Well, Kelvin, thank you so much. We have learned a lot in as far as bamboo is concerned, and probably some of you didn't know that bamboo is not a tree; it is a grass. This is something that we have learned. But one takeout here really is that it is one of those things that Ugandans can really take advantage of if you can actually manage it on your own. Well and good, but if you cannot, then companies like Africa Plantation Capital are there. You just give them your money, and then they'll do everything for you, and you just sit and relax and wait for your 5 years, and then you start earning your money. Thank you so much, Kelvin.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having kept us company. We've learned a lot about bamboo, and there's a lot that we can talk about. We can discuss this until the cows come back home, but I'm afraid we have to leave it at that. My name is Erukidi Kijanangoma, and I've been with Kelvin Kaloki, who is the managing director of Africa Plantation Capital. And up next here on UBC TV is News Tonight. Thank you so much, and see you next time.